So you never really find that one big tall building with a pool in front. We're more spread out like this picture here. And this property actually has 4 different sections to it. So we do cater to all ages. We are a family brand, but we do have adults only spaces within our resorts as well. This resort has 2 adults only spaces and 2 family friendly spaces. And there's the main pool on the resort center where the main restaurant is. Again, this is a brand new property. And it's actually part of our exclusive collection. This entire property is a 5 Trident property. So I said that we didn't have swim up bars. However, this property has 1 swim up bar in one of the adults only spaces. This is the only swim up bar that we have at Club Med currently. I imagine they probably will be building more because this one has become quite popular. But this is in one of the adults only spaces. And there's that flying trapeze. And then we're going to head on over to our Punta Cana property, also in Dominican. This one's about 10 minutes from the airport. Again, super large spread out property. And our properties look massive. And you probably think, oh my goodness, there's probably 2,000 rooms there. But there isn't. Like the Meaches one, I think, has somewhere around 500 rooms. And same with this one. So it's because the buildings are low level, spread out. We don't have a lot of buildings. So there's always lots of space. You're never fighting for a chair at the pool because we're not overcrowded.
This is the one that I went to. And one of the things that impressed me the most about it, over and above all the virtues you're going to continue to talk about, is the number of people that are at your beck and call when you are there, as well as a point you brought up before, the people you meet from all over the world. You don't run into, your next door neighbor or the guy who lives in your same neighborhood. You run into people from all over the world and you dine with them and all that type of thing. I'm a pretty tough person to impress, and I've been impressed by Club Med for many years, and look forward to my next trip, that's for sure.
It's funny that you say that because a lot of our clients will say that, they've made friends with somebody from another country when staying at a Club Med, and they end up traveling with them the next year because they spent so much time, you can sit together at dinner, you just end up making all these friends. And the staff, we have so many staff, and our staff, they're called GOs, great organizers, and they live and work on site.
They work hard. They work hard day and night, those guys.
They do, and even on their days off, they'll spend their days off with the guests. It's just in their DNA to be there all the time. It's just part of who they are.
Yep, fantastic.
Oh, and this property actually has one of our 2 partnerships with Cirque Du Soleil. You see it there. It's a circus school. So not only does this one have the flying trapeze, it has a full circus school for all ages included with lessons. And the people that our GOs that work in here are trained by Cirque Du Soleil as well. Wow. We also have an adults only space at this one called the Zen Oasis, which is the picture in the bottom left with the big flower carpet. So that's for 18 and over, that space. That space has its own pool, its own concierge, and its own bar and the rooms there. But anyone that's over 18 staying at the property has access to use the pool there. The top left picture is in our Tierra section, which is an exclusive collection section within the resort. It's for families. It's 2-bedroom suites, all ocean view. And then the larger picture on the right is one of the regular rooms. There are tons of different room types. You want connecting rooms, family suites with 2 bedrooms. We have pretty much everything that you're looking for. This is a picture of the main pool at the resort. Top left picture with the red umbrellas is the Zen Oasis adults only section. Actually, all 3 of these ones are the Zen Oasis section. So bottom left is one of the buildings. There's 1 room on the bottom, 1 room on the top, and then another picture of the pool there. And this is the Indigo Beach restaurant. So this is one of our a la carte restaurants that's right down by the ocean. So we have buffet restaurants, which I will talk about in a little bit. And then we also have a la carte restaurants as well. Because our resorts are smaller with the room numbers, as I said, you might be used to going to resorts that have 2,000 rooms and they have 7 a la cartes. Well, we don't have as many people because we don't have as many rooms. So we usually have 1 to 3 a la carte restaurants and 1 to 2 buffet restaurants. Our buffets are gourmet buffets, though. They're not what you're probably used to, where there's a line of hot plates and you're just picking food out of them. And actually, I'll go into it now with the buffets. We have changed our buffet style with everything that's been going on. Our buffets were always set up as gourmet buffets, engineered in a way where each of the food stations was separated with a chef at each station. It's always been that way with us, so we didn't have to change much. We're still able to keep our buffet style. However, we have added the sneeze guards, and clients are no longer allowed to pick their own food using the spoons. You can see it. and you can choose it, but there's a chef at each station that will plate it for you. So everything is mono-plated, but it still has kind of the buffet feel where you get to choose what you want. There's still loads of options there. It's all gourmet, wonderful food, and you're not just picking out of a hot plate.
Yeah, we should have a contest to replace the word buffet with something, because the food has always been spectacular in the places that I've been to. And like you said, you've addressed the concern. We had one of our ski group leaders was concerned about that. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes, do not worry. And first of all, don't let the word buffet scare you. You're right. We should find another word for it, because that
Yeah.
in people's minds, they think, oh, buffet, it's going to be cold and it's just sitting in these hot plates. That's not how ours are. Each of ours is in a kitchen where they're bringing fresh food out all the time. They're replacing the food. There's a chef at each station. And now with the sneeze guards, the guests are not able to touch the food. It's
Right.
only the chefs, and they all have gloves on as well.
It sounds like you got it handled for health and safety, then that's important.
Yes, that was one of the first things that we took care of, that we figured out even before we reopened our resorts.
Great.
So Club Med Cancun, we're going to leave Dominican now. We're going to fly over to Mexico. So now we are in Cancun. So if you've ever been to Cancun before, you'll see up in the top right portion of the picture there, that is the strip in Cancun. That is where you see all the hotels beside each other with the pools in front, very crowded beach. And then this is where we are. This picture here is the Club Med. We have all of this space plus the lagoon in the middle. It's because we were one of the first ones arrived there, because we pioneered the all-inclusive. In a lot of cases, we were the first ones arrived in a lot of areas, and we got to pick the best spot. So we picked this spot, and we've got the beach on both sides. We have three sides because we're on the peninsula, but the one side over here, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but this side here is a little rocky. I wouldn't suggest going for a swim over here. But we do have this reef here too, which is the second biggest coral reef in the world next to Australia. And over here, boats come over here, excursions that people pay for from other resorts. They get on a jet boat, they come over here and they go snorkeling. Our guests just step off the beach with their free included snorkeling gear and go snorkeling for free. So that's a pro. We've also got the lagoon in the middle. And because of that, we have a water sports area there, and we include with lessons, water skiing and wakeboarding for free.
Wow. And
also,
that stuff normally costs a lot of money at other resorts. So again, we're talking about the value, and that property is exceptional. See those two little red dots in the very middle of the picture there?
here?
Yeah, right there. And
Yeah.
see that guy lying on the beach right beside it?
Was that you? Is that you?
That's not me.
No. This property it's stunning. It's tons of green space. It's beautiful ocean views. We've got over here, actually, this picture is actually a little bit old. We have two more buildings just like this over here now. This is our family-friendly section called Agua Marina.
Beautiful.
We've got a beach here and all across here. Our water sports is here. Snorkel shack is over here. This is the 5 Tridents section as well, and then the whole rest of the resort. So very large, tons of activities, lots of food options as well. This is an above picture of the family-friendly Agua Marina pool. And just here, you'll see these little chairs here. They're actually miniature child-sized cabanas, which is really cute. It's very family-oriented, this part of the section, this part of the resort. And there is a picture of, again, the Agua Marina section from the beach side. What's great about the beach over here too is it's very, we never really get seaweed on this side, and the waves aren't very large. So this is the family friendly section, and this area is very safe, shallow, not very wavy. It's perfect for smaller children for swimming. This would be the parents' part of the 2-bedroom suites that are in the Agua Marina section. This is an above view of the Jade 5 Trident exclusive collection section. So this area has its own rooms, all ocean facing, its own pool, its own bar, and its own concierge.
Beautiful.
And that's one of the bedrooms. If you wanted to get a connecting suite in here, if you had a family, you could do that too. So lots of options. And there's another section of the beach. That's my favorite section of the beach there.
Like you said, it's not really crowded. Oh, and there's the water sports. So something like that would normally cost a couple of $100 at another resort.
It would be. And this comes with free lessons too. So for myself, I can't wakeboard or water ski. I was here last March, my last trip before COVID. I didn't get a chance to try because I was too afraid. But next time I go, I'm going to try it.
Too afraid.
Yeah, I'm not a very
No
good swimmer.
excuse. No excuse.
And then, of course, you have lots of dining options. This is the steakhouse. You could either eat inside or outside facing the ocean. Now we are going to leave Mexico and we're going to fly over to Turks and Caicos. So this is a very sought after vacation spot. We are right on Grace Bay here, which is one of the top 10 beaches in the world, top 10 most beautiful beaches in the world. And this is one of our adults only properties. So most of our properties are family friendly, but this one here is for 18 and over only. We've got a couple of different room options here. We've got deluxe rooms, which is this picture, and the superior room. The superior room is the lead-in room. It does not have a balcony, but it looks exactly like this. We've got Sharky's Beach Bar there. So every day at 5 p.m., there is a happy hour drink social that happens where all the staff and all the guests get together every day at 5 o'clock at Sharky's Beach Bar. There's live entertainment. We bring in bands from different parts of the world. They stay for a week and they do the sunset happy hour drink at Sharky's. And it's just a really fun social event every day and beautiful sunsets. We did redo our pool a couple years ago. We actually got hit by both the hurricanes here in 2017. So we did some upgrades and the pool was one of the upgrades. We made it into an above ground infinity pool.
That's me in the middle of that pool there.
Oh, is
That's
it?
me right there.
Working on your backstroke?
That's right.
And something else that needs to be mentioned is the entertainment in the evenings at Club Med. We are very family friendly. And of course, this is showing a picture from the adults only one, but every night at all of the properties, there is loads of entertainment options. We actually have themed dress code nights. It is totally optional, but you'll find that most people do tend to get involved. Clearly, this picture is of the white night, but entertainment is just like this every night, and it is so much fun. These are my personal pictures from Turks from a couple of years ago. That's me doing the flying trapeze. I wasn't very good at it, but I did it. I'm proud of myself. And you can see it's just a beautiful property. Now over to the Alps. We are going to go hit some slopes now. This is Paul's favorite part. So a little bit about our ski. When you purchase a ski package with us, we use regular scheduled air to package our flights. So you do have choices on the air that you want to use. It is a Sunday to Sunday stay when you're staying in the Alps. So you could do 1 week, 2 weeks, so 1 week increments basically. And your package is going to include your flight, your transfer, your hotel, your food and beverage, your ski passes, and your ski lessons. And as Paul was saying, if you don't want to take the ski lessons, you really don't need to, but what you also have access to is to ski with a small group at the same level as you with a guide every day. The reason that that is so invaluable is that this is not, for those of you that are watching from the Ontario region where I'm located, this isn't like Blue Mountain, okay? This is the Alps. These are huge mountains. There's many different trails to do. The guides are invaluable because they can take you on little trails that you never would have found by yourself. And if you had found them by yourself, you probably would get lost on them.
You go from town to town, country to country. And when we were in Prageletto in Italy, we would go to a different area and have lunch on the slopes. And again, we were all good skiers, but we were escorted by our guide's name was Luca. And he really enjoyed skiing with us because he didn't have to stop and give lessons, but he was quite pleased to do so. If you needed that to be done, it was great.
It's a great experience. And the other great thing about our ski is it's hassle-free. Whether you're going as a couple or with your kids, we have the kids clubs here too. We have evening entertainment. Everything is handled for you. One of the great things about this, especially going to the Alps, you're not paying for stuff in euros unless you want to leave the property to go for dinner or you want to buy something at the gift shop. You're paying in Canadian dollars for your package before you even leave. So you're not going to come home to some crazy amount of euros charged to your credit card when you come home. And everything's taken care of. You don't need to worry about where you're going to go for dinner. It's all right at your fingertips.
It's such a great point because the value that you get from Club Med, and I think the only thing that I spent in euros, like you said, was the gift shop. And we also were so pleased with our guide, Luca. We very generously gave him a nice tip. And he was a farmer in the summertime and he was in tears. We gave him such an impressive tip. He was in tears. He went back to his farm and he went and got us all a little jar of honey from his beehives and gave it back to us as a gift and waved goodbye at the bus when we were leaving that day. It was quite heartwarming. So they really do care,
Yeah, they do. That's how our staff are. They just, they love being around the guests. They love meeting people. They're helpful. They're friendly. And you bring up the tips with Club Med, with your package, the gratuities are actually included. So you don't need to tip, which is probably why he was so grateful, because most people, they don't expect the tips at all because it's included. We pay the Club Med pays the
Yeah.
staff very well. So they
Well, it
don't
was
expect
exceptional
tips.
service. It was exceptional service, and everybody felt that they wanted to do that. So we did it, and we were very pleased to do so.
So I will get into the Alps in a little bit, but first I want to talk about something super exciting for
Oh,
us.
yeah.
We are opening a product or a resort in Canada. So right in our own backyard, in Charlevoix, Quebec, which is just an hour outside of Quebec City, based right along the St. Lawrence River. You can see there in the picture. And it's at the base of Lemusif ski hill. So this is an existing ski hill. The public can still buy ski passes to ski there as well, but the Club Med will be the only accommodations on the hill. And our guests will get the same things included as when you go to the Alps. You can get a whole package with flight transfer, hotel, food and beverage, entertainment, kids clubs, ski lessons, ski passes. And as you can see, it is a ski in, ski out property as well. So very convenient. Another item I want to point out for the ski is that included in your package is access to the ski room, where there's lockers that only your room key can open. So you do not need to lug your wet, dirty equipment up to your room. You put it right into your own locker in the ski room, which is included as well. This property has an included skating rink. These skates will be included. We do not include ski equipment rental though. That costs extra, or you can bring your own. But this property will have a skating rink, and they will include the skates for the skating rink. I'm
Yeah,
gonna play.
I've skied at Lemusif before many times. And the other thing that opens it up, you don't necessarily have to fly. If you're going for 4 or 5 days, or a typical ski week would be a Sunday to a Friday, so you're not there on the weekends. You could drive there from pretty well anywhere, all over Ontario and Montreal and all that type of thing. So it's less painful to drive. And if people want, you're going in, a van with 4 people with all the gear, it's a convenient way to travel as well.
And this one will be available for short stays. The stuff in the Alps is Sunday to Sunday only, but this one will be more flexible with that.
Yeah,
And
I've
it's
got a couple of
actually,
group quotes that they're going from a Wednesday to a Sunday.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's very flexible that way. And it's actually open all year. It only closes for 1 month in November to switch over between seasons, but we have other activities included in the summer as well. I'm going to play a quick little video just so you can get an idea of what this property is all about, because it is brand new. The sales are open, but it opens its doors for the first time this December.
Excellent.
So
Well,
that one
that's
is
fantastic.
opening.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
And it's in our own backyard, and it's all inclusive. So, if you're thinking, oh, I'm not quite ready to travel far yet, you've got that as an option. So now we will hop into the Alps, and we have over 18 resorts in the Alps between France, Italy, and Switzerland. We actually have ski in China and Japan as well, which you can look into if you're interested in that, but we're going to focus here on the one in the Alps. I'm just going to show you a couple pictures and I'm going to let Paul talk about some of his experiences there. I myself have not experienced the ski portion of our mountain resorts, but I wanted to just show you a couple pictures so you can see kind of where we're located and what it looks like. And then Paul, if you have anything to add, go
Yeah,
ahead.
please, sure.
So this one here is Alpe West, which is in France. It just reopened 2019 after extensive renovations. La Rosière in France is actually opening for the first time ever this summer. We do have what's called summer mountain resorts, which I'll talk about as well. But this one is opening this summer for the first time, and then it'll have its ski season this ski season as well. I believe this one is La Plaine in France.
La Plaine, yeah.
La Plaine. See, I can't even pronounce it properly. And Arcs Panorama, also in France. And I don't know, I think that's all the ski pictures I have. Did you have anything else you wanted to add for ski?
Well, I think that the people that have been to Europe could already appreciate this, but the magnitude of the terrain that you're skiing in Europe, right? You really need to have a guide go with you. And I've sold thousands of packages over the course of my life and built everything from scratch, or a Club Med thing would be my favorite, mostly because of the value that it represents, all the things we've talked about, the people, what's included, the entertainment, the lifts, the lodging, airport transfers, all that stuff put together in a package. And between the two of us, with our resources collectively, it really can't be beat. Now, there are some destinations and whatnot that people specifically want. I'd forgotten about Japan. We've had a big increase in Japan before COVID, mostly because a lot of people have skied all over the world and they're looking for somewhere new to try, but there's still plenty to do. And I think just in France alone, I think there's at least a dozen Club Med destinations.
At least, yeah.
Yeah. So I can't speak highly enough of it. I'd like the food's good. Everything's fantastic. And depending on your ability, there's lots of different places you can go to enjoy. And we were talking about the guides before. Janet, you touched on the abilities of skiers. And what they do is when you're there, the first day that you go out for a little ski off and they put you into different abilities. So you're not stuck with a whole pile of experts if you're a beginner or vice versa. So they match everybody. And that's another way of not just at the dining table, but you're meeting new people from all over the place who ski the same abilities as you. So that's another aspect of that I like about Club Med. So thanks to whoever asked that question.
And it's also great because
wine time. There you go.
If you are a single traveler, if you're traveling on your own, Club Med is a great opportunity to meet other people that are traveling either with friends or couples or single as well, because there's so much interaction with everyone. So if you do travel alone and you're always wondering, well, where can I go that I can meet people? Club Med is a great option. So some of our ski resorts in the Alps, just like our Quebec one will as well, stay open in the summer for what's called a summer mountain experience. So instead of including the ski and the snowboard, we're going to include the mountain biking, guided mountain biking with the mountain bike equipment, and guided hiking with the hiking pole equipment as well. So you can either take the bike out on your own or go with the guide, and same with the hiking poles. So many options here. I went for a week 2 years ago. This is one of the best trips I've ever been on. I went to the Grand Massif Samoans Morion. And this sleepy little mountain town down at the bottom, and we had free access to the gondola to come up and down as we wanted to wander around, to go for hikes in the forest. They had paper bags in the buffet where we could pack a lunch at breakfast and then go out hiking for the day. So you have your kind of home base, which again, Europe, especially in the summertime, very expensive to travel to. So this way you're paying your package price already. You've got your home base. You've got access to an excursions desk if you want to purchase an excursion for the day or rent a car, go out and explore. Otherwise, there's tons of activities on site included and lots of areas to explore nearby. And there's a few pictures of that one. Again, I was too scared to do the paragliding, but I will do it next time. I always like to watch it once. But
Don't even get me at the top of a ladder, never mind the paragliding.
Well, the paragliding here actually took off from right outside the doors of the resort, because the resort's set halfway up the mountain. So every day we could go and watch people doing it. And then some of the people in my group decided to do it one day. So I went and watched them, but I didn't do it myself. All right, so now I want to go through some of the things that we've got in place for what's going on at the moment. We've got our health and safety measures at all the properties that have reopened. Something big I want to point out is that we are not allowing our resorts to book up to 100% capacity. We are only booking up to 65% capacity.
65?
Yeah.
65?
65, sometimes 70, depending on the size of the resort. For something like Punta Cana or Meaches, we may go up to 70% because the resort itself has a larger space. But for a lot of the other resorts, it will be a max of 65% occupancy. That is to allow for more physical distancing on site, so everyone feels safer. We've got the staff wearing masks, wearing gloves, sanitizing everything. There's hand sanitizer available everywhere, doctor or nurse available 24/7. We have temperature checks available upon check-in and also periodically throughout the stays. So lots of health and safety measures to make sure that everyone feels safe.
Good.
And as I was saying, the resorts are low density. There's that picture again of Meaches showing just how spread out it is. And with even less people staying, there's even more space. We do have our free cancellation on land and air. This is going on at the moment for quite a while. I think it's for bookings made before, well, it's for bookings made before May 31st. So the end of this month you need to book by, but the travels go for longer. And this gives you the ability to cancel for any reason for your full package. Now, the full package would be refunded if you booked with Air Canada, WestJet, or Transat. If you just booked land only and did your own flights, then we would be refunding the land for you. So I'm not going to go over all the terms and conditions of this, but I wanted you to know that it's here. It's an option to make you be able to book with more confidence. Also included with every booking, whether it's land only or a package with air, is our emergency assistance program. This is basically COVID included insurance for you. You do not pay extra for this with Club Med. It's already included in your package for you. So again, I just don't want to go through all the details of it, but your Merit travel advisor can help you if you do have specific questions about it. But I wanted you to know that it's there and it's good for travel up until the end of next year. And then some perks for you guys. We do have what's called a great members loyalty program. And that's for you guys. The more that you book, the more points that you earn. Those points put you in different status levels. We have almost like a cult following. Once you've been to a Club Med, you just want to keep going back. And with all the options all over the world, why not? You can do Summer Mountain if you want to explore. You can do a Cancun if you want to lie on the beach. You can go skiing if you want to do something more adventurous. So lots of options. The more often you go, the more points you earn. If you buy things on site, like a spa treatment or something at the gift shop, you're also earning points that way as well. We have our referral program. So if you're already an existing Club Med guest and you didn't know about this, now you do. Once you've been, once you've booked, actually, you're then a Club Med client and you can refer a friend. And when you refer that friend, if they also book through your Merit travel advisor, then they're going to get a couple $100s off their trip and you're going to get a couple $100s off your next trip too. And then we have an app. It is called Club Med Resorts in any of the app stores. It has information of all of our resorts. It is great for you when you're on site. It has maps. It tells you what time restaurants open and close, what times the activities and the lessons are, what the themed dress code is for the evening. You can actually order if you need more toilet paper for your room. You can order through there as well. And we do have our sun and ski sale on right now. And this is, you can get up to 50% off. And it is to book by June 29th of this year. And it's for travels between December 18th and July 1st of next year. And that's for sun or ski. All right, so we do have a couple different prizes here. I'm going to tell you about the Club Med one first. So the Club Med prize is going to be a $50 prepaid Visa card to Club Med Quebec Charlevoix Turks, and a couple of little food items that were actually made in the Charlevoix region. So it'll be a can of specialty cranberry beer, a little jar of jam that was made in Charlevoix as well, and a jar of candied onions. So a little prize pack for you, and that'll be for the first place winner of the Kahoot quiz. And then Paul, I'll let you talk about your prize.
Yep, certainly.
I don't have a slide for it.
Yeah, now, so sorry. So that we have a partner with Elan Skis that we've had for many, many years. And I think a lot of people on the call have probably heard of that brand. They're very well recognized around the world. And they've been a great partner of ours for many years. People who organize groups of 20 people or more, they obviously get a free trip and they also get a pair of skis. We don't have a stock like a ski shop, unfortunately, but We've got a good selection, and today I'm giving away a pair of 160-centimeter Elan Carve lady skis. And if the winner doesn't happen to be a lady, I might be able to try and work with you on to see what inventory we could substitute, but I can't guarantee that.
Actually, Paul, we do have a winner, and it is a lady. We've been working in the background. We picked somebody randomly from all the people who attended and who is still on the call. And that winner is Janet Hinaf. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Janet. I actually have your name, but if you could just message me in the chat and just confirm your address, I will pass that on to Paul and he will ship you your new.
Great, congratulations and thank you.
All right, congratulations to Janet. Okay, so that concludes our presentation portion. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for a second here while I prepare the Kahoot. So again, make sure that if you do want to play along with the Kahoot, you either need to go to kahoot.it and sign up, make your name, your first initial and your full last name, or you can download the Kahoot app to play along as well. And I will give you the PIN code in just a second. I think first we're going to do a little question and answer period while I set this up though. So I'm just going to stop sharing so I can set up the other screen.
And while we're waiting for that other screen to come up, I just wanted to let everybody know that rest assured, we'll get to your questions at the end of the Kahoot game.
All right, just give me 1 second here.
Yeah, while we're waiting for Janet to get that up and running, there's so many different deviations and options of things. So remember to be in touch with your travel advisor at Merit. We've got all the experience and all the menus and all the different things that Janet mentioned that we can match to your requirements.
All right, so the PIN code is there on the screen. It's 4632364. And try and make your name, your first initial and your full last name. We just have room for 50 players. I apologize, that's as many as the game will allow us to put in. Feel free to play along if you don't make it into the first 50 that get in here though. You can only have a shot at the prize if you're actually in the game. So we'll give it a few seconds here. So just so you guys, if you've never played before, whatever device you're playing off of is where you're going to answer the questions. You'll see the questions on this screen. You're going to answer the questions on your other device that you're playing on. If you're playing on the same device that you're watching on, you'll have to switch between the screens. And I will just give it another second here. See a few more people popping on. All right, we're going to get started.
Hang on, give him 10 more seconds. Come on.
All right, 10 more seconds, guys. There's lots of people in here.
Yep.
There's only a few questions and they're very easy. So the idea is that you want to answer as quickly as possible, but also you have to get it right. So the points depend on how quick you answer it and if you get it right. And I think some of the questions even have double points too. So if you're falling a little bit behind, you can catch up on a double point question. All right, give it a couple more seconds because I do see there's a couple more popping on. All right, we are going to get started. Here we go. How many years has Club Med been in existence? Is it 50, 30, 70, or 60? Seven seconds left. Lots of answers coming in. If you're not sure, just guess.
I know that.
All right, nice. You guys were paying attention. So it is 70 years, and most of you got that right. So now we actually get to see who's in the lead. All right, we've got Jamie in the lead, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Tsui in second, Karen, Bill Bates, and B. Graham. All right, So it's fun to watch this kind of move around as we go along. Double points. Approximately how many resorts does Club Med have worldwide? Is it 10, 100, 30, or 70? Worldwide, how many? If you don't know, just guess. You'll have 20 seconds on each question. 3, 2, 1. All right, the answer is 70. And most of you got that one right too.
70 resorts, 70 years.
Yep, and we're building more. We just opened one in Seychelles this past March, actually.
Wow.
All right, we've got movement on the podium here. True or false? About half of the Club Med resorts are adults-only resorts. Read the question carefully. True or false? About half of the Club Med resorts are adults-only resorts. Is that true or false? Three seconds left. Those answers come in fast. You guys are good. False, correct. Most of you got that one right too. Most of them are family friendly. We only have 3 that are adults only in the whole portfolio. All right, we had a little bit of movement there again. What's included on top of flights, transfers, hotel, food and beverage when booking a ski vacation package at Club Med? Is it dog sledding, Yeti spotting tours, ski passes and ski snowboard lessons, or all your ski equipment? What else is included when you're booking other than your basic package of your flight, your food, your hotel? This is for ski.
I think I talked about that one a lot.
Nice. Most of you got that one right too. So it is the ski passes and the ski passes and ski and snowboard lessons.
Right.
A little bit of movement happening again. We've got 7 questions in total. So true or false? The new Club Med Quebec Charlevoix to open in Quebec, Canada will not be an all-inclusive. Read it carefully. It will not be an all-inclusive. Is that true or false? You guys are so quick. 3, 2, 1. False. It will be an all-inclusive. All of our properties are all-inclusive, and all the ones that we will be building will be all-inclusive as well. Oh, big movement on that one too. What is the youngest age of the kids clubs at the Club Med resorts? Is it 4 months old, 6 months old, 2 years old, or 4 years old? At what age do we start our kids club? The youngest age that we allow kids into our kids club. It is 4 months old. So most places it's 4 years old, but we actually started at 4 months old. All right, I think we're moving on to the last question. We've got Jamie in the lead and Ellen McGuire and B Goldfarb coming up right behind.
All right.
Last question, guys. Double points. Instead of skiing and snowboarding, what activities are included at our summer mountain resorts in the Alps? Mountain lake swimming lessons, guided shopping trips to town nearby, hiking and mountain biking, or overnight camping trips. This is for our summer mountain resorts, the ski resorts that stay open in the summer. And it is hiking and mountain biking. Amazing.
You were
All
talking
right,
about
so
your
now-
lunch. Remember you were talking about your lunch and all that.
Yeah.
That's how.
So Karen, you came in third. Good job.
Right.
We've got Ellen McGuire in second. And in first place, the winner of the Club Med prize pack is Jamie.
All right. Congratulations.
All right. So Jamie, if you could message Merit Travel in the chat and just make sure they have your address, and I will ship that out to you either this week or next week. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing now and come back in here. So that's it. I don't know if we want to open it up for questions.
I think there's some questions Annabelle's going to table. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I'm going to start. I'm going to try to get to them all. So I'm going to combine one. Is scuba diving and the paragliding included in the cost?
So those are considered a la carte activities or excursions. So scuba diving is not included. It would have an extra cost. But at 2 of our resorts, at the Bahamas resort called Columbus Isle and our Turks resort, we actually have an outside sourced company for scuba that we have on site. And they do offer some snorkeling boat excursions for free each day to our clients, but the scuba actually cost extra. And then the paragliding is also an excursion. The resort that I was at, it was an excursion offered by our excursions desk, so it's easy to book.
Okay, thank you. And is the Club Med in St. Moritz being renovated?
It is going to be renovated. We haven't really made an official announcement about that yet, so I don't have a lot of information, but it is going to be renovated.
I think COVID slowed things down because it was on the radar for a while, and then with the COVID thing, well, pretty well everything's been slowed down. But it's a great property, but it needs a refresh for sure.
It did, yes, and it is. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it might be having its refresh done this summer and reopening for the next ski season, but I'm not positive on that.
Good question.
For the people who are local to Quebec, is there bus transportation included, I guess, from Montreal or somewhere within Quebec?
No, we don't include, so we include transfers if you're purchasing a flight through us. So if you get a package of your hotel plus a flight, we throw in the transfer. If you're buying just the land, you would either need to purchase a transfer or you could drive if you live in the area too. We do have parking there, but we don't include bus transportation. It's an extra cost.
Okay.
We do include it if you're purchasing a flight, but not if you're not getting the flight.
When is the Club Med in Quebec going to open?
December 3rd of this year.
And does Club Med charge single supplements?
We do sometimes, and sometimes we don't. And that is a hard question to answer because it depends on the time of year and which resort it is. So you would have to check and see for the dates that you want to go, whether there's a single supplement in place for those dates or not. So sometimes there is a full single supplement, sometimes there's a maybe 50% single supplement, and sometimes there's none.
Okay. And actually, sorry, back to that transportation out of Montreal or Quebec City. Do you know anything about a train that goes?
There is a train, but that is another company. So again, that's not included. I don't know the cost of it, but it is an option.
But I think it's also a tourist train. I don't think it goes particularly fast. So
no, it does not.
So if you're in a hurry to get, well, if you want to get where you're going, that's not the one. The train isn't the thing to take.
It's not the best option, but it is available. But as Paul was saying, it's more of a tourist type train. So
yeah,
I don't know how many people will be taking that to get to the resort, but it is there.
Okay, and this one's from Ann H. Paul, which resorts do you recommend for an advanced or intermediate skier?
Sorry, what do, say that again?
What resorts do you recommend for an advanced or an intermediate skier?
Well, there's such a big variety of terrain. So if we're speaking about Europe, for instance, when you're on a Club Med, they will take you on a ski off and you get designated into different abilities. So you're not stuck with a group of experts or a group of intermediates if you're not in the same caliber as them.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's also, it's a hard question to answer because we have so many resorts, but each of our resorts has fact sheets, which you can get from your Merit Travel Advisor. And the fact sheets for the ski actually tell you how many of each color run there are. So it'll tell you it has, 20 blue runs and 30 black runs. So you can kind of determine based off that what you would prefer based on your level. Each one is different.
Yeah, despite what country, and the mountains are all pretty well similar. So
yeah,
there isn't anything that comes to mind that's particularly exceptionally difficult or exceptionally easy.
They're all a pretty good mix.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is the last question that I see in the chat. Somebody's asked, Bill has asked, will you require vaccine certification?
So for vaccines, currently we are following whatever the guidelines are per country and per government. We ourselves do not require it. It's whether or not the country requires you to have it coming in. So we're following all the guidelines. We're watching closely to what's going on, but currently we do not have in place that you have to have a vaccine to come to Club Med. It's just whether or not, like, if you need a vaccine to come into France, then you would need one to come to any of our resorts in France because you need one to get into the country.
Yeah.
Okay. Jamie, who is a Club coordinator, is asking about land transfers. Will Club Med do land transfers or air? And actually, I'm going to answer that. Jamie, Club Med may not do those transfers, or they may not include the transportation. But if you speak to Paul or any other Merit travel advisor, we can definitely help you organize everything from transfers.
Is that for Charlevoix?
No.
She's talking about Charlevoix specifically, but we've done
We
packages
do
for her
include
outside too.
transfers
Yeah.
if you're buying a flight with us. If you're not buying a flight with us, you can purchase them from us. They're just not included. It comes as we kind of throw them in for free when you're buying a flight. If you're not buying a flight, you have to purchase the transfers separately. But we do, in every area, we deal with a ground transportation company, so you are able to purchase transfers from us. If you don't want those transfers, though, then you would need to speak to Paul or whoever to find out if there's another company you could deal with.
Yeah, these guys are from
Perfect.
Ottawa.
Okay, so I think we got that covered. You said the Quebec resort is all inclusive. So is it unlimited drinks included?
Yes.
All of them
Food
are
and
like that.
drinks. Yeah, it's just like being at an all-inclusive in Cancun, except instead of palm trees, you're going to have snow-covered trees, and you'll be on a mountain.
Okay, and I have one last thing. Janet, who won the pair of skis, has messaged me and said she's not a skier. So we are going to pick another random one. I don't think we have time for this on the call, but we will definitely be picking another winner, and we will announce it in the follow-up email. I think that's all the questions there are for today, except for Louise, who's just asked one more. Will there be access to cross-country skiing at Lemusif?
So that property is a little bit different. Normally, we do have access to cross-country skiing, and you would just have to rent the cross-country skis from the ski resort. But at Charlevoix, there isn't cross-country skiing on that mountain, so we're not offering it as an excursion from our resort. But there is cross-country skiing in the area. You would just have to use an outside company, which our resort can help you source one once you're there. But we're not offering it from our excursions desk.
There's a cross-country ski club right at the top of the hotel. That Club Med's hotel is at the bottom. At the top of the mountain, there's a cross-country ski club that it's open to the public that people could use, but you'd have to buy a trail pass for it. There's also a great little town called Bay St. Paul right in Charlevoix with an artisan street and restaurants and all that type of thing. If people don't necessarily want to travel to Quebec City to see the virtues of the old walled city and that type of thing, Bay St. Paul is a nice excursion to do if you'd like.
Okay, thanks everybody. If we did not get to your question, we will be sending out a follow-up email with sent from a travel advisor, so you can always ask us directly if you have any further questions. I want to thank Paul and Janet for a lively presentation today, and thank you, the rest of you, for taking the time and joining us.
Yes, thanks a lot. Thanks very much, everybody, for attending, and pleased that we could answer everybody's questions.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.